Okay, so let's talk about this set. So it's got this window that only cuts out the panes, and I think, sorry, it only cuts out the panes. But what's really neat about that is you can cut this window out of a variety of shapes and a variety of sizes. So now I know, now everybody had their sound all the way up, and now it's too loud. Just turn it down. Okay, and then it's got these 3 circles. Now these circles can be used in a variety of different ways. They can all be used singly, they can be used in 2 parts, and they can be used as all 3 parts, and I'm going to show you that. Then we've got this rectangle here, and this rectangle, and everybody was asking about this. This rectangle is the one that coordinates with Master Layouts 4. I should have a better version of Master Layouts 4 here. The real version of what it looks like. Here we go. Master Layouts 4. So this stitched rectangle works with this stitched rectangle. So the scalloped rectangle in here works with Master Layouts 5. Okay? And then, yeah, that was my bad. There was one more button that I didn't push, so sorry about that. And then we've got these 2 cute little flags. Now remember last week, let's take a peek at last week, shall we? So last week with Master Layouts 4, we had this big flag, right? Master Layouts 4 that looked like this, right? Now we have a tiny flag, which is perfect for smaller little greetings where you just want to add that little accent piece or that little flag that's sticking outside of a rectangle or a circle. So we've got a short one here for short stacked greetings, and we've got a longer one for longer greetings. So, and then we've got this awesome triangle, and I'm a big fan of triangles because I think triangles make the perfect accent pieces when you need just a little something, a little pattern paper, a little bit of a background piece, and this is gorgeous. So we're going to show you all of that today. Now, let me show you. This was last week's. Here we go. We've got our Master Layouts 5 here. This is the sizing sheet. If you saw this sizing sheet and the idea sheets earlier in the week, you may want to reprint them, or at least just check them to make sure that nothing cut off and also that the color is right. I had this color set up in CMYK instead of RGB, and it prints better in RGB for me. It gives me more of the true Gina K color. Otherwise, it's a little green, so you might want to reprint them. That's just me being, wanting everything to look the same. So here's the sizing sheet, and it'll give you all of the sizes of these dies, which is good to know if you are in the market for another die. Let's say you're looking at another company's website, you see a shape that you like, and you're thinking, I wonder if the window is going to fit in there. You can just open this page up, look at the size of the window, and you'll be able to determine whether or not it's going to fit into a different die set. Then we've got our 6 layouts here that I created for you. Now this is just a smidgen of what you can do with this die set. You can do so many other fun things with this, and I have a couple of them here that I want to show you today. Well, at least I have one here. But I wanted to show you that I did this little mock wreath in here to show you that these circles will also coordinate very nicely with Master Layouts 3 if you wanted to do it with the wreath builder. And it gives you this little interesting edge, and I'm going to show you that up close. Now this oval obviously does not come in the set, and I wrote here that use any oval here, that this is not part of it, but we all have ovals, we all have circles, rectangles, and if you don't, you can cut a big rectangle to put in the center if you wanted to use this layout. And then this one here, I just popped in some little floral design, and the flowers don't come in the set, but it just kind of shows you how to maybe lay out a flower stamp set on that circle. Okay, and here you could see is that smaller little flag that we talked about. All right, now let's take a look at some of the layouts that I created. And I have to tell you, a fun word that somebody shared in our Facebook group. Okay, so the first layout mixes Master Layouts 4 in with Master Layouts 5. And if you look closely here, you'll be able to see that the stitching on that scalloped rectangle still shows when you use the rectangle from this die set, the Master Layouts 5. And I use the Master Layouts 5 rectangle, which is not a traditional A2, okay? It's a little shorter than an A2. And that's if you wanted to have this up on your card and have a little bit of extra room at the bottom to stamp a greeting. Where our Master Layouts 1 and 2, they kind of take up more, they're more symmetrical with your card base. This will bump up just a little bit at the bottom and allow you to stamp a strip sentiment. So that's what makes this rectangle different than Master Layouts 2. And then I cut the window out of that rectangle. But you can see if I wanted to use Master Layouts 2 instead, or I wanted it even bigger and I wanted to use Master Layouts 1, or even if I wanted to go 5 by 7 and bump up to Master Layouts 8, I can still cut that window out of those dies, which makes this die work with just about every one of the Master Layout sets. Now here, I did this layout with the 2 triangles, and then I put just an oval in the center. This is from our double and single stitched ovals. Now, of course, all of my patterns here are just simple white and dusty rose. That's the color I used, and a little bit of black in there. But you can use your imagination and think about how you would like to use these accent pieces. This might look a little bit boring, but done on a piece of pattern paper or something like alcohol inked paper or one of our background techniques, stenciled paper, you can really jazz up the background and really make that big white oval in the center pop out a little bit more. And remember, just like all of the layouts, not necessarily this one, but you can turn these on their side and see how this layout would look as a horizontal layout instead of a vertical layout. All right. So now our next one here, I'll just pull this out. Our next one uses the same 2 triangles, but it uses 2 of the circle dies from this set, and then it uses one of the flags coming across. So this is where you would add your greeting. Here, just as an example, let me pull out some little die cut pieces here, because I know a lot of times these things look a lot better when you see them done with some die cut pieces. Like, so for this one, for example, you could have a bird in that window. And just something that simple. Imagine using a piece of white cardstock underneath this piece and having clouds and stamping some branches in coming that way. Okay? And I know the bird wouldn't necessarily be on this side of the window unless you were actually looking into the house here, and then the bird could be on this side of the window. Otherwise, you could pop him behind the window and it would appear as though you're looking outside of the window. So you can see how pretty something like that, just simple like that, makes this layout. This bird is from our Vintage Summer collection. You could also do something from Vintage Summer like a hot air balloon. You could add something like that in there. And, you know, it doesn't always have to be anatomically correct. You know, the hot air balloon would be way up in the sky, maybe. But, I mean, it would look so pretty just coming off of that window. And then you could add your greeting. You could do it on this side and add your greeting. You lift me up, right? Something cute like that. Okay. Now this one, very simple. You know, we have gone through lots of different layouts like this, but you can see how pretty the triangles add to that when you add a floral greeting like that. It just, you know, it just adds so much. I don't have many greetings cut today, but we'll cut a few. And you can see how pretty those little triangles on the sides just jazz up this whole look, right? Okay, now we'll go back to what I was doing here. So for this one, for example, a layout like this might be really, really pretty with maybe the bird from Spring Blessings, and then to add some different florals in here. That's kind of a big floral, but we could add something smaller in there. I have smaller ones. I also have some of these ephemera ones, but you can get the idea how you would be able to lay that out. Let me see, I have a leaf here. It always makes a difference when you add a leaf. Just the little bit of green. And so you could do something smaller like that, or you can do something that is super big around it, like, let's say it was a holiday card. You could do something like that. You could have one going this way, and you could have one going this way around that circle. And then you could pop your greeting over it by popping it up. Now this one I love because it's just so simple, right? Just a little tiny greeting. And this is one of those cases where something like something that you stenciled could go over there. You could cut that down. Let me find another smaller one. Do I have a smaller one that would work? Yeah, like let's say we did something like this. Now this is cut out with a bigger panel. So, you know, you would cut this panel down with this die instead. But this is, again, one of those very simple designs where you just cut out a patterned paper that you did and then just add your greeting. I do like stuff like this with dies like this, too, where you're using a cover plate on there and then you're just adding that to it and then you add the little flag. So you get the idea. We did one of these with... Okay, Brienne just said, half of us can hear you fine and half of us couldn't hear you, but it was my fault. I just didn't have the right button clicked. So this one, we'll do one today. We'll just grab a really fun pre-done patterned paper and we'll add a little flag greeting on there. Okay. Yes, these are called sheet protectors. I got my sheet protectors at Walgreens. They have them all over the place, office supply stores. When it's back to school time, you can get great bargains on this kind of stuff. But I ran into Walgreens and bought my binder and my protector sheets the night before I started the series because I didn't have one big enough. And I still don't have one big enough. I'm using a 1.5-inch binder. If you can get a 3-inch binder, I even saw a 4-inch binder at the office supply store. Go ahead and get it, or break them down and do, 4 to 5 sets in a binder and then just label the spine master layouts 1 through 5. Maybe that's easier for you to handle. So you decide. Now, here are some more. Now you can see this one I mixed in master layouts 4. This one is just plain. So this one feels more feminine to me because it's got that little scalloped edge, where this one could be more masculine. And you might want to use something like here is a stamp set called Guiding Light. You might want to use a lighthouse design behind this, or the seagull or the stork on the, not a stork, but somebody tell me that bird. Could be a seagull, but a seagull, kind of looking out the window, or on this side of the window where maybe the ocean is over here and this person is sitting inside their house looking out at their ocean view. So that could make it a more masculine card. Maybe not with the pink, but if you changed up the colors and made it navy or made it, pretty green or a gray, this could be a more masculine layout. Now this one, I really just wanted to showcase these 3 circles. When you layer those 3 circles together, I'm going to pull all my pieces out so you can see that, but you get the coolest little stitched edge around here. And that's one of the things that I love about this circle set. And once again, you can use different die cut pieces here to create a wreath or to create, you know, some kind of look like that. And then just add your greeting right across the center. So you can use those triangles as like grounding panels for images, and then you can pop a strip sentiment across the center. So super easy layouts, right? Let's put this one back. And then this last one I want to show you. Here's one that's not on the idea sheet, but I had to do it, these two. Okay, so this looks the same as this one, but it's not. Because I don't know if you can see this up close. Should I take it out? Yeah. I use the inside pieces, see them? I use the inside pieces that fell out of this window to create a more dimensional looking window. So after you cut out a bunch of windows, you could stack these with glue, and then you could have a raised window design. And what's cool about this is you can stencil on a piece of cardstock and then cut it out with the window, and the pieces that fall out could be the pieces that you use, and they would all be stenciled. So you could have a floral look that will automatically have these white lines going between them because you cut that piece out. Where you could get a similar look with this by just putting that panel behind there. But it looks really different in real life. So I want you to try that with your Master Layouts 5 using those little pieces that fall out. And then here, I thought this was so cute. I just took a strip of cardstock that I cut off the edge. My sheets are a little tight when I put 2 in, so I just cut a tiny strip off. And that was the strip that I cut off. And all I did was put a little bit of glue behind it, and I just curved it onto my cardstock. And then I used some foam squares to pop up 3 of the flags. Now, what kind of layout would you do with this? Well, let's say you're making a slimline card, so it's a long one. You could spell out somebody's name by using letter stickers or alphabet stamps. You can also use these as tiny little grounding panels for flowers. So for example, you know, you could put a flower here. You could put a different flower here. You could put, let's find another flower that we like. Maybe this one here. You could put a flower there. And then you could add a little bit of greenery around each of those using like tiny greenery, just like little leaves and things that would go, and use those little flags as a grounding panel. So the flags would still show. You could even do them at the top like this. So the flags would still show, but then they're just tiny little grounding options for you. You can also use our April Showers stamp set that has all the little baby images, and you could make a baby card out of this by just popping those baby images on top. Even though they're going to extend outside of that, that's okay. It just gives that little kind of feeling of it being a baby kind of card, like bunting, right? And you could do this higher up. So then you could spell something out and then still have room down here for focal images. So there's lots of different ways to use it. And for my scrapbooking friends, you can use these across the top of your scrapbook with alphabet stickers or alphabet stamps to spell out the name of your page. So these are just perfect sized little flags that you can use. All right, so I'm going to put this back, and we're going to make some cards. Oh, and I do want to show you, I've got my pieces, my little Try Me panels here, and somebody, now you guys have to help me because somebody in our group said this and I loved it, and I commented, oh my gosh, you win the prize. That is such a great thing to call these. And then I lost the post. So if you're the person, if you're the person that said this, please just say it here in the comments or post it on the video afterwards or send it to customer service so I can give you credit in our Facebook group. But she called She called these little pieces, like she said, stamplets is cute, and somebody said stamplets and stamples. And we all loved those words, and we thought that they were really cute. But she said, but because they're not stamps and they're dies, instead of calling them stamples, what if we called them tri-cuts? And I love that. So I'm going to call them tri-cuts. Instead of die cuts, these are our tri-cuts. So this is how we're going to try things out before we actually use them. Isn't that cute, tri-cuts? I love that. So please, if you're the person who said it, make sure you get your credit. Get your credit. Okay, now, what I have here is I make these with every master layout set that has greeting flags or greeting panels. This way we can look at a stamp set. Let's do this. We can look at a stamp set and we can decide, is this going to fit okay? So here, you know, you always point me in the right direction. Well, that fits in there, so we know we can stamp it on there. And remember, you can move the top of this up under something. So if it doesn't fit perfectly and it comes down to maybe here and you don't want the rest of the top to be blank, you can either add a little something to it, like a little leaf across the top, or you can trim it off, or you can tuck it under the piece of cardstock. So this way it can shorten it a little bit. And especially if you're using stitches with stitches, it'll look really nice that way too. And so like this, I can see, okay, well, I'm not crazy about that. I think I need something bigger. But this is a way to try your different sentiments to see if they'll fit with these tri-cuts. I love that word. I love stamples too, and I love stamplets. I love them all, but tri-cuts is just so on point, don't you think? I'm going to keep this set out because somebody did make a comment on one of my videos and said, gosh, I'd love to see anything but flowers. And I did have to respond and say, flowers are my favorite, and you guys know that. I love flowers, and I can make flowers on every card. And there's been many times where I've said to Tom, I'm making you a card, so which flower is the most masculine? And he goes along with me, right? But I do understand that sentiment, to be able to see a card with a more masculine image. So I will accommodate that today. Okay, so these are our tri-cuts. And I want to show you how the circle goes together, because I think that's really important too. So I do have a bunch of extra pieces cut. I cut all of these last night, and I'm going to put these away. Now here are all the pieces I cut to use for today's video. I don't even know that I cut enough. It was late. I was getting tired. But let me zoom in just a little bit here. So I can show you this next thing. And I just noticed that my tape runner has no tape in it, so I am going to replace that super quick here. Guess what I get to do tonight, guys? Rena and I are going to scrapbook together. That's right. We are going to scrapbook. She wants to scrapbook her trip to the Philippines, and I want to scrapbook a bunch of bike rides that Tom and I have taken together. So we're going to do a little scrapbooking. I'm not much of a scrapbooker, but every once in a while I think it's fun to do it. I was never good at, like, starting from the time our kids were babies all the way up. I just randomly scrapbooked a few events and then got into card making and enjoyed the instant gratification. But I think it's going to be fun. So if I come up with anything good, I'll share it with you in our Facebook group. Okay, so there are 3 different die circles in this set. One has stitching, one has a little pointed edge, and one is plain. All 3 of these can be used for any of the greetings in any of our wreath builder sets or any of our other stamp sets. I think I have a wreath builder set here. Let's see. I might. All right, so here's our holiday wreath builder, for example. And you'll notice that all of these dies, all of these stamps for the wreath builder will work with this set and also with the circles from Master Layouts 3. They just fit in there really nicely, okay? And they were designed to do that, so you kind of know that if you buy a wreath builder set that Master Layouts 3 it's going to work with, but it also works with Master Layouts 5. These circles are a little smaller than Master Layouts 3, and you know you can't get these. Well, you might be able to on this one, but it'd be a tight fit. But yeah, you can, but it'd be a tight fit. You'd really have to use one of my stamping on die cut techniques that I show you in some of my die cut videos. I do have a little short here on Facebook that would show you how to, or on YouTube that would show you how to do that. If you look at my shorts tab, you can see all my 1-minute videos. But what I love about this is it's definitely a mix and match, okay? So if you wanted, you could layer these two pieces together and get that nice little shadow layer. Okay, obviously you'd want to do this one in black or another color. The name of that stamp set that I just showed is the Holiday Wreath Builder. But you can also create this look. Now check this out. It looks better up against white. So see that? How you get that tiny little pointed edge? Now that's different than a scallop. And what I like about that is it feels a little more masculine. So if you wanted to have a little bit of an edge, but you didn't want it to be too frilly, this is a good one. But if you layer them all together, this is where the magic comes in. So I'm going to layer these all together. All right. So I'm going to start with this one. All right, we want to get it just so. There we go. So you can see that now. When you layer this one on top of this, it goes right to the edge and it creates that cool kind of like braided look that goes around the perimeter. So it looks really cool with black and white, but it also looks really neat with like gray and white. It looks a little nautical. Great for a nautical style card. And it's also just a different level of layering where you do these three things together and you get this cool border around the outside. There you go. Isn't that fun? So I definitely wanted to show you that. That makes a really interesting little piece for your cards. And you know, other layouts that I didn't even show you, you could do 3 of these, right? 3 of these cool little patterns, and then go back and look at some of the old layouts from some of our other Master Layouts die sets, like Master Layouts 3, and do this look, right? Go back to, you know, you can see here, that's bigger actually than that. So it's a little bit bigger. But see how that would jump in there and look so cool? It's a little smaller than that one. So if you wanted a second layer behind it, you could pop this up on top of it. So you could see how they mix and match with Master Layouts 3 in that way. All right. There's so much here to show. There's so much to talk about. All right, so why don't we start with a window card? Let's do a basic window card, and we'll make this one a little bit masculine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a piece of cardstock that measures just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just to start, we're going to die cut it with the die set. And then I'm going to use my grip mat here, my sticky mat rather, and just put that on there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a sky background because I want that for behind my window. So I'm going to use the Sea, Sun, and Sky stencil. And then I'm going to use some sea glass ink. And I have to find a blending brush too. Let's find a blending brush. I don't know what happened to my turquoise blending brush. So now I'm using, I've got emerald here. Maybe I'll use emerald for this. Why not? We'll use Emerald Coast. I have a blue sky brush too, and it would make sense to make the sky in blue sky, but why make sense? Let's just go outside of the box here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm going to start up here at the top because I don't know where this is actually going to end up cutting. And I'm going to create this emerald sky. I think it's going to be pretty. Okay, can you guys see that okay? You can see what's happening there, right? All right, we'll get it a little bit more vibrant. Make it more vibrant so everybody can see it. Okay, there we go. And I'm just moving this back and forth to create my sky. And although blue sky is a beautiful color to make a sky with, I love to just kind of go outside the box a little bit, and I think this is just fun and vibrant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this out with the Master Layouts die. I'm actually going to trim it a little smaller than that. I'm going to cut the panel first for the window, and then we'll look at it. Okay, a little bit more. I don't know that I need all of this, but it's going so well, and it's so fun that I might as well just keep going. Nothing like those puffy cumulus clouds. Is that what they are? Okay. There we go. Okay, that's good. And then, like I always say, if you wanted to use this whole panel, you could just go along the bottom to add a little bit more color in there, and along the top to finish it off. And that just kind of finishes that design off. Okay. So now we've got that panel. I'm going to put that aside, and I am going to clean my stencil real quick. And don't forget, pick up your ink stands from our marvelous Brienne. Brienne, I need to order a couple more ink stands, so remind me, text me later and remind me that I need to put that order in, because I want to get 3 more so that I can, when I'm stamping at home and I'm doing like rainbow stuff, I like to have like all the colors out. And my biggest fear, I don't know if you guys have this fear, my biggest fear is either putting the wrong blending brush into the wrong color, or, you know, getting the lids mixed up. And with the, you know, being able to kind of have them all laid out in front of you, it's really nice because the lid tells you the color, and it's less apt to, you're less apt to make that mistake. Okay. So now I have one of these panels already cut. So you can see how pretty that's going to look looking out the window there. And I'm not going to use this whole piece. I'm just going to cut down a little piece for behind it. So now I'm going to get another piece of white cardstock here, and I am going to stamp. I think I really liked the way this bird looked. I think we should do that. So let's stamp this bird in black ink. So I'm going to stamp him. Let me get my black pad. Okay. And then we'll just stamp him. Looking good. I think I'll stamp him one more time just to get him a little more solid. It's a very delicate image, so you don't have to press super hard, but if you stamp it more than once, you'll get more of that, you know, that crisp image rather than stamping and smushing it too much. All right. We'll get rid of this. So this is going to be a little bit of a masculine card. You know what would really be cute too? I just saw this. Look at this image and look at this anchor image. Wouldn't they be cute on these little flags? to make like a little nautical design. And I mean, you know, you could cut them out with the dies. So they would extend just a little bit outside, but that would be so cute going across the top of a nautical card or even a nautical scrapbook page, having those little elements. Okay, so now we're going to cut this out using the mini Intracut because it's right here in front of me. Did you guys see my picture from the other night of what my worktop looks like when I'm done? Looks like that every single week. It is insane. It's bad. It is very bad. Okay, so I'm going to use the mini Intracut here, and I am going to trim this down just a little bit. I know that Sea, Sun, and Sky stencil. I use it all the time. I really like it. We're going to have to add a little color to this guy. I guess we don't have to, but it might look good to add a little bit of color to him. And then I'm going to pop that on there. Let me get a piece of Masking Magic strips here, just so that I can tack this down. I don't want it to move when it goes through the machine. So there we go. So I didn't see Tom here, but I know he has a meeting today, so I didn't see him here, so I don't know if he has a word of the day, but I do not have a word of the day today. I was just so enthralled with the tri-cuts that I stopped right there. Love it. Okay, and then we'll cut that out. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So look how cute that cuts out. That's such a cute little image. And then we can have that image just kind of in front of the window. Now, I know this is bright. You guys know that I always post real high quality photos, both on the, so YouTube changed the name of the tab. I used to always say it's my community tab, and then recently they've had a change, and now they call it the posts tab. So they're like blog posts that you can do here on YouTube, but I only use them to share my cards. So I post them here on that post tab, and then I also share them on my Facebook group. Okay, so I'm just going to look at my look at the size of this here. This is where the sizing sheet comes in handy too. But this is 3 1/4 inches across. So it's 3 1/4 inches, and then it's 4 3/8 going down this way. About. These are approximate. Let's see, 4.4. So 3.25 by 4.4. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit smaller than that. So we'll say 3.25. I'm just going to go a little bit smaller. And then 4.4. We'll go, let's see, 4 point. So it's almost 4.5. We'll go just a little bit smaller than that too. Okay. Now this will cover that completely, but I don't have to be so perfect trying to nail it. Can you see that? Would it be better if I had a different color window? Maybe it would be. Maybe I should do a wood grained window for this. And then I can show you how this works. Why don't we do that? I think this is too much white, especially for this more masculine version card. I think I want to add a little bit more texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of ink to this panel. So this is the same die from Master Layouts 5. You can see the stitching going around it. I'm going to just pop this here on my sticky mat. And then I'm going to use a little bit of warm cocoa ink. This is craft cardstock that I cut out. And I'm just going to do a little bit of quick wood graining down the surface of this card. like that. And you can do like lines to make it look more like wood just by kind of angling it on, going down this way. You're not going to see a ton of this. Well, you will see some of it. Let's also add a little bit of that emerald coast in there. Okay, that'll make it look like aged wood. Just a little bit in there. See that? A little bit in there. Isn't that pretty? So easy to do. Now we're going to cut out the Master Layouts 5 window die from this. You know, I'm going to do a little bit more right over here because my edge over here is nice and dark and I miss this edge over here. So just add a little bit of that to really get the edges looking nice. And you know what's nice about this? If you do the edging like that, that kind of makes up for not having a shadow layer die. See how we just kind of created our own little shadow layer by catching the edges of that die? It almost makes it look like it's layered. All right, I'm going to clean this mat real quick just with my tidy towel. Get rid of some of that excess ink. You can rinse these too. I just, you know, let them air dry because they are kind of sticky. Let me get this out of the way. If you use a paper towel, it just kind of frays on there. Alrighty, let me get my big machine. We're going to cut this out. I promise not all the cards will take this long, but the Master Layouts videos are a little bit longer because we are using a lot of different things and we're doing a lot of different die cutting panels. All right, so this is what the window die looks like. And that's how you get it to look like this. You cut it out of whatever rectangle you want to cut it out of. So I'm going to just place it there like that. Make sure it's straight as I can get it. That looks pretty good. I kind of look at the bottom. And if your dies ever like bend from the pressure, just flex them back into shape. It's totally fine. You're not going to hurt the die at all by doing that. And if you overflex, just flex back. Okay, and I do have it a little bit on an angle, so if it looks like it's not perfectly straight, I'm trying to look at down here to make sure it looks straight going across. But dies always go through your die cutting machine a little bit better when you put them on a slight angle. Okay, here we go. Well, thank you. I'm so glad that the long videos don't bother anybody. I mean, I know people don't always have the time to watch them all, but you can always come back and pick up from where you left off. Okay, so look at how delicate that die is, too. It's so pretty. Isn't that beautiful? And now we've got more of a wooden window, which I think is going to just look so much better with that cloud background, right? Now we can see the clouds and we can see the window and all the details. And then what I was talking about with this is you can take a panel. For example, let's say we wanted to use this panel. You could take this panel and you could put a little bit of tape back on each of these. Why don't we do it? I could put some tape on each of these while it's still in the die. Some people like to use glue for this because they can get, you know, real close to the edges. But I think this will work just fine. And then you line it up where you want it. Once you get it perfectly straight where you want it. Does that look pretty straight? Yeah, I think that looks good. Then you can, I probably should have done this on the tabletop. Then you can gently pull your die off the top. Now you've got that really cool looking element, right? And that element is, you know, it doesn't really have to be like an open window, although in my opinion it looks like you're looking out into like the woods almost. But then you can take some of your interesting die cuts and put them on top. So isn't that fun and an easy way to use the negative? Maybe we'll use this on a quick card later. And it doesn't have to be a masculine card either. You could still use something like that with a beautiful floral design, and it just gives you that interesting background. Okay. So now we have these two panels cut out. I know, isn't that fun? And it, you know, you did all that beautiful work with that wood graining. Why not make use of everything? Okay, so we could pop this up to have a little dimension. That would be kind of fun to do. I would use shaker strips with that. You can also cut several panels out, and if you're good enough to nail them and get them pretty, you know, cut out pretty close to the same spot, you can glue them all together to make them thicker, and then you could just trim away any excess, and that would make it a more sturdy panel. You can also put a piece of acetate on this and turn this into a shaker card. But I'm just going to go right onto the card here because I think it's going to be easier for today. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do today. So I'm just going to get a piece of cardstock here. And I'm going to put my little dots using my Connect glue just on these here. Now these are super, super thin die cuts. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to like attach this. Okay. I'm going to use tape runner for the rest here. But you can use glue too. It doesn't really matter. But one of the things that I have found works really well is once you get this in the position that you want it to be in, okay, lay it down and then don't attach it right away. Just get your finger and press out, like press out toward the edge to make sure that all of this is stuck down where you want it. Okay, like that. Then that makes sure that all those panes are flat and they're not all twisty. And then you can put down the rest. So that's pretty. That's nice and bright. I like that. All right, so we're just going to get a quick brown marker. I don't know what color brown I have here, but I'm going to try to find a little scrap piece of cardstock to check and see if it'll be a good mix. It's not too bad. I'm just going to color this. I'm not doing any fancy coloring at all. I think I'll color a little bit of the wings here. I feel like I've seen seagulls that have had brown on their wings. Most of them have a grayish look to them. But again, this is not about the coloring. If you tuned in for the coloring, you came to the wrong channel. That's not my forte. My forte is, I don't know what my forte is, but I'm just going to color a little bit down here. Yeah, I feel like the gray is better. I'll gray up the wings a bit here. I'm using Warm Gray 1, W1 for Copic markers. But again, you can use anything you want. You can use watercolor or colored pencil and Gamsol, whatever you like. Just doing a couple little squiggly lines in here. Okay. And then that can just sit right on the outside there. Actually, I'm going to have it extend a little bit like that. And then we could make this a very simple thank you card by using one of our banners from Master Layouts 2 to go across. We could do just a thank you across that window. And then we can have him like that. We can also use something different. Let's see what we have left over that would work. I'm trying to find something that's a little bit more masculine. This would actually make a really pretty sympathy card too, though, wouldn't it? If we did with sympathy. We could just add that down there like that. So simple. And it is a very peaceful looking card. Maybe we'll turn that into a sympathy card. I like that. I think that's a good plan. We'll do that. So I'm going to grab a quick white card base here. Oh no, I just stepped away. I stepped away and my headphones came detached. So I won't make the same mistake I made on Tuesday with 10 million drum rolls, but I am going to give away a couple of gift cards today. How's that? And if you are new to the channel and you would like to try to win a gift card, all you have to do is leave a comment. At some point during this video, leave a comment and you'll be automatically entered in to the drawing. Okay, so we'll put this on white since it's got a lot of white. I think it'll look nice. And again, you can step this up by adding lots of dimension onto this card by, you know, doing the popping up of the window and all of that. But I think for today, we will stick with this. I'm going to pop him up. I'll get some dimension there. My headphones are coming out. Okay, that's all right. I will move that out of the way. It's going to be bothersome for the rest of the video. I'm all wired up here, and it goes down the back of my shirt, and then it loops into my pants, and then it's laying on the floor. And if I step on the floor, step on the cord, and I try to walk away, everything comes detached. I normally don't wear headphones because Tom does all the listening to make sure that things are going well. But you can see that that doesn't work for me. Okay, we'll pop this right here. Like that. Should we do it down just a little bit? Like it's coming? Yeah, let's do that. I feel like just having it extend a little bit at the bottom makes it make more sense. And then we'll pop up the sympathy. I'm a live wire. That's right, I am. Seriously, taking the headphones off at the end of a live feels like taking your bra off at the end of the day. It's just glorious. Okay. And then we'll add the with sympathy right here. We can tuck that under him. We'll add that right there. And that is just a very simple masculine style card, but good for anybody who loves the beach. I don't think it's necessarily not for gals too. But there's our first card, okay? And that you can see, let me just take all this off here. Ugh. You can see how that kind of goes along really nicely with this layout right here. This simple layout. So there we go. We have a card that matches that with lots of fun techniques in there, and you can see how you can really jazz it up with the wood graining and stuff. All right, let's move on. Let's make another card. So I want to use the triangles. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock, and we're going to cut this out. The stamp set from the With Sympathy comes from the stamp set called Elegant Thoughts. That was an incentive set a couple of months ago, and now it's available. As I would definitely recommend getting the stamp and die bundle though, because you're going to want to cut them out. It comes in just a stamp set because I know that a lot of us out there have something like a scan and cut or a Cricut, and you like to cut your stuff out that way. But I'm not going to use this. I'm going to do a background stamp. Let's do this background stamp. Let's use the Grip Mat background stamp. So I'm going to make this into a background, and let me find the die for this. Now see, I'm starting to get where everything is everywhere, and I'm going to lose things like my card samples and the dies and all of that. So let me get the die set, and let me put this away, because I think we're done with this guy here. I think we're done making ocean cards. I just really wanted to get one kind of masculine style card in. Doesn't mean it'll be the last one because we're going to make a few cards, but definitely wanted to get one in for the customer person out there who asked for it. Okay, so let's try like a basket technique with this. So I'm going to use this piece of cardstock here, and I just want to measure to make sure I can get 2 out of here. So I can get 1 there, and I can get 1 here. So this will be a good background stamp for this. So what I want to do, I got a little goober there. I'm surprised I don't have more goobers since this has been a grip mat for me. But it's good to clean it. So let's start with some craft ink. I'm going to start with the craft. Do I want to do craft first? No. I'm going to use this for warm cocoa. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to wood grain this. So I had to think about it for a second because I want to have a wood grained basket look, if that makes sense. Not just a plain basket, but a wood grain basket. So I'm going to start with craft cardstock to just get that base color down there. Now you could go like straight away with craft cardstock, but this is going to make it look more textured. You see that? I love that a little bit more textured. Okay. And I promise all my cards won't be brown today, but I feel like I might be in a little bit of a brown mood. Now I'm going to use some warm cocoa on here to add a little something more to it. There we go. And then I have to add a little more of that emerald because I think that really, I mean, can you just see how pretty that is in there? That emerald really makes a difference. It doesn't look like emerald once you put it over a brown, but we need like a little bit of that in there. It just kind of makes it look a little more rustic. Do a little more cocoa over it. There we go. Now, I'm going to go with a darker brown ink onto my basket stamp. So let's go with dark chocolate, all right? So now I'm going to wood grain this stamp. See how it creates, I don't know if you can see that, but it creates more like texture in it. It's not like perfectly, it's got like lines in it, and that's what I want. And then I'm going to put this right on top. Like that. And then just rub. And we'll see what we get. Once it's all like cut out and everything, it'll look good no matter what. Isn't that fun? So now it has more texture. It's not like just a blatant like stamped image. And then you'll see when we get this, when we cut this, you know, it gives it just a little bit of ruggedness about it. I like it. Okay, let me clean this because this is going back into the MISTI as a grip mat again. But I love that little basket weave feel. And these kinds of background techniques, the wood graining, the basket, they're great for your floral images too because they give you that earthiness, right? You know, you've got the beautiful floral and then it's in a wicker basket or it's in a wooden barrel or something. So those two textures of flowers and then the wood always looks so nice to me. All right, so I'm going to cut 2 of these out. And I'm going to try to get them as straight as I can. So I'm going to use, like, if you can see this, I'm going to use one of these lines to make sure that I get a straight line. So So I'm just kind of lining it up somewhere where I can see that it's straight. Right? I'm just not, you know, if I do it that way, it's going to just look like a hot mess. But I can even use these lines right here and just go right up to the edge of those lines. And then I know it's going to be pretty straight. Okay. Yeah, don't use alcohol on your stamps. You don't want to use, thank you for mentioning that. Don't use alcohol to clean your stamps. Just use water. You can use soapy water if you want, but alcohol will make them not want to stick anymore. Okay, so we've got one, and it does have the stitched edge, although it's a little harder to see the stitched edge, but not a big deal because we're really going for texture more than anything else. And again, you see I just lined that up right along there, how easy that is to line up so that everything's going to be straight, and it's going to look straight on both sides. It is my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys today. All right. Some videos go an hour, some videos go 2.5 hours. It really depends on what we're showing, and there's just so many things here. So there we go. This could also make a cute little square card if you wanted to do it that way, but we're going to do an A2, so we're going to separate it here. Now, I have to tell you what's coming up. Next Tuesday night, I decided to do something really fun and a little different. I'm going to make a video showing you how to create your own pattern paper and elements so it looks like it came out of one of those fancy packs. So I hope you like that idea. We've got so many stamps, and I know you guys do too, in our collection that is perfect for making pattern papers. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to cut a black piece here. Let me get some black cardstock to see what size this is. This might already be the right size. That's already the right size. This is the size of Master Layouts 2. Now, I'm going to cut a Master Layouts 2 panel. I should have cut some of these out earlier, but I know you guys don't mind. I would like to have I'd like to have a little white in the center of the card. Now, you might not even see it. I think I could go right on here because I'm thinking of using like the circle. Let's take a look. This is what's nice about being able to try it first. We'll take a look, but look how cool that looks. Isn't that so pretty? I love that. And then I'm thinking of using, well, we could use like this in the center. And then I want to wrap a floral around it. So I'm thinking of using this floral that I've been looking at for a while, but I don't think that that's going to be big enough. I think I'm going to have to use something more like an oval. So let's cut a couple ovals real quick. I guess I didn't need to put my die cutting machine away, but I don't have the space here on this desk to have it out all the time. Whoa, anybody else just get seasick with that maneuver I just did? So let's find my shape dies. I also have circles, but I think an oval will be the right thing to do. So let's take a look. We can always look at ovals and see what we like. Now, I know some people have made their tri-cuts out of the double and single stitched ovals as well, and circles, but I think this is going to be a good size. You can also look at it just by placing the die on there. And I think that is going to be a really nice size. And then we can add a little greeting. Now this has a little foil on it, so I think I have this greeting that I did in foil too, thinking of you. So what do you think of that? Do you like that, or would you like to see white under there? I kind of like the black. It's just different, right? It just makes everything pop a little bit. But we can do a quick look just by me cutting a piece of white just to see. So I'll cut that off the side here so you can look at it and you can determine whether or not you like the white under it. All right, so I've cut a piece that is the same size as the Master Layouts 2. All right, so we'll lay that on top and we'll look at it together. I should put my glasses on so I can see. I'm like, why is this so hard to see? I'll put that there. I'll put that there. Now, with that little white piece in there, remember this oval is going to be cut out in white as well. But decide if you like that little bit of white sticking out on the sides there. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it kind of takes away, actually. Because the oval's going to be white, so we're going to have white behind the flowers. What do you guys think? Back to black. Okay, black, black, black. Okay, we're going with black. All right, so it's good that we looked at it. I feel better about having looked at it first. And I have a piece ready to cut my oval out, so that wasn't a terrible decision. I'm gonna cut the oval out. Yeah, it looks like most of you are liking the black. Okay. Probably would look good if we did craft back there too, but that might take away from the basket. So I agree with all of you with that have said black so far. We'll stick with the black. And then I will find one little piece of, actually I'll use, should I? No, I can't use that because I need that for my card. Where did all my black cardstock go? Here's one. So I cut that out with the double-stitched oval. Now I'm going to cut the single-stitched oval out. For those of you who've been with me for a long time, you will notice that a lot of my videos use things that we have had in our collection for years and years and years and years. And I'm not going to stop. It is fun to have new things, but it's also really feels like a good investment to me if you get to see ideas over and over again using stuff that you already have in your collection. So I'm going to continue to do that, even if, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit like, oh, we're using that die again. I hope you guys appreciate what I'm saying. I'm trying to say that I don't want to stop using what's old. We could always mix in what's new, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to add this panel up here like that. And I'm just kind of eyeballing. Let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I'm trying not to make us feel like we're in an amusement park. I know, I think the circles and ovals and all, they've been in our collection, oh my goodness, probably for 8 or 9 years now. And I use them all the time. I love them. I think they make great grounding images for, and when I say grounding images, if you're a newer crafter, you know, you could throw the flower right on the card and that would look cute. I mean, it would be cute. But when you put something behind it to ground the image, I think it just jazzes the whole card up. It's definitely a Gina K style. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time like this, but I just love that look of having that panel there. You're not, you know, a lot of it's going to disappear because you're still going to put your flower on there, right? And then you're going to put your greeting on there. But it just brings the whole thing out, and I love that look. Okay, well, my card base that I cut for this, I just cut in half. Oh, no, here it is. I thought I just cut it in half. So we're going to go again with a white card base because that will accent some of those white pieces. Oh, no, Lois got bumped. I'm glad you're back. I don't know why that happens sometimes. Sometimes I think that, like, these afternoon videos, it's like a time when a lot of people at work get their lunch break. And so the internet gets like a lot of traffic. And then sometimes things like that happen. But I'm glad you're back. Hey, Tom, I see you. Did you see Tom's comment? Tom just said, I appreciate that you still want to, that you don't want to stop using things that are old. I get your point, honey. I'm glad to see you. If If you have a word of the day, please do it, because I did not prepare for that today. I was too busy die cutting all night long. Okay. And then we could put this directly on the card and we could pop the rest of this up. Oh my goodness. Even when you're not in the room with me, Tom, you're still funny. You're funny from a distance. Okay. There we go. We'll get that in the center there. Don't you love that little accent? It's not like a whole piece, right? Just gives you that fun little something. I need big foam squares, and I think they just came in, so I'm going to be able to get some now. They're back in stock. They were out of stock for a little while, and they're finally back. Okay, so we'll use small ones. I want to see where this is going, so what needs to be reinforced. Okay, yeah, the small ones are tough. But yeah, I love the triangles. And they're nice because, you know, as we go through, we have another triangle set that has a shadow layer. And so we'll be using that in a little bit of a different way. But this is nice because you can cut out that Master Layouts 2 size panel or Master Layouts 1 if you want. Doesn't matter. Whatever you cut out, you're just going to take it right to the edge and you'll just have a wider margin in here. Let's go a little outside of the whole thing like that. There we go. Okay, and then we'll pop this up right on top. So we'll put some foam squares in here. And I need a tiny one. Yeah, I like this layout too. I'm glad you guys like it. Let's see, do I have room to put one on here? I think I do. Yeah. And then we'll just put tape on this part. You can also use liquid glue if you want. I'm going to have to make a lot of elements, but we're going to do that on Tuesday night because we're going to be making elements to kind of create our own pattern paper and ephemera pack. There we go. I think I'm going to move that over just a little closer. Not so far out like there. I'll move it down a little bit too so we get a little more of that flower. There we go. I like that. And then of course you could add some, look at that shine, isn't that fun? But see how that basket, and it looks kind of woody because of the way that we did that technique. It's such a nice backdrop. It's a little masculine behind that feminine, and I love that combination together. Oh, and Lori brought me some trays. She stopped by and dropped off some trays. I've got to send her an email to thank her to get my gems upright, and I can't wait to use it. I got to do that. Her husband made them on a 3D printer, and she dropped it off for me. I'm very excited to use them. So Lori, if you're watching, I will be sharing those. And you have to let me know, does your husband make them for other people so we could share a link, or does he just make wonderful things for you? And he's just a good guy that likes to do that. He's good either way, but if people see them, they might want them. So I would want to know if he sells them. I will show those on Tuesday night. I'm just using tiny gold ones. Got a lot of gold ones here. But the thing that she gave me, it's a little tray, and it's like kind of similar to like the diamond painting trays where you kind of shake all your gems and they turn upright, which is great because I struggle with that. All right, so there we go. We've got 5 gems on there, and there is card 2 with Master Layouts 5. So fun. Okay, let's use that little flag design And let's pick a background paper now. I'm gonna find a background paper in my stash. Oh, what do I have? Look at this one. That's really pretty. Here, let me do the overhead here again. So I've got just a bunch of panels here. This one's really pretty. We used to have these stencil mates that you could foil and also that you could just stencil into them. And that was one of the patterns I did from that. Here's some of my things here's some of my things from the other night that I could use. Let's see. Boy, these are pretty too. I like these, but I want to be able to cut it out with Master Layouts 5. So let's find something else. Ooh, look at that. Should we make a Christmas card? Why not? So this is from a technique, and I don't know if Brianne is going to be able to find the video, but if anybody can find the video, it's going to be Brianne. I also like this one. This was an alcohol ink panel that I did, and then I stamped and embossed on it. And it really depends on what kind of greetings I have here. I have this greeting. Not sure. Let's do this. Let's do this. So Brianne, this is from a video that I made called Carved Wood Technique. And so it's supposed to look like carved wood. See that? That's the one side that looks like carved wood. And then this is the opposite side where the image protruded. I also show you how to emboss with stencils. So this could be that video too, embossing with stencils. I'll look for it too if Brianne, if you can't find it. But let's go ahead and use this, and let's see if Master Layouts 5 will cut that out. Oh, and it will. Look at that. It'll cut it out perfectly. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something else that's kind of fun. We are going to trim this one down a little bit on the bottom. So we have like an even edge all around. So I'm going to just tape this in place here. This is just an old panel from an old video. You know I love to bring out the old. Tom appreciates my love for the old. And then I'm going to just trim a little bit of that off the bottom. I don't even know if I should leave the die on there. I'm going to. Okay. I think that'll work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to center this. I know Brianne can find anything. She really is a ninja. That's what Catherine called her the other night. Catherine and I were talking about how awesome Brianne is. She was watching one of my videos and she said, Brianne is just a ninja. When she needs to find a link, she's a ninja. She's awesome. Thank you, Brianne. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this out with the rectangle die from the Master Layouts 5 set. And I should cut a little more off the bottom. Kind of thinking I should do it before instead of after. I think I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom here. Right off the side here, you can see me. Just a little bit more off the bottom. Okay. There we go. That's better. So we're gonna attach that so we know it's straight. And then we're going to cut that out. Okay, here we go. And then I'm going to use this frame with this, but I'm going to pop this part up just to create a little interest here. Okay, so we'll get this out of the way. We'll come back to it. Well, because I wanted it to be, why I'm trimming it is because I wanted it to be even all the way around. See, it would have been longer at the bottom, so I needed to take a little bit off because I'm going to use this for my card. Okay, if that makes sense. And I'm going to use a piece of black cardstock in here. So the way I'm going to do this, now this is tricky. I'm going to line this up onto this piece of black cardstock. I don't even know if this is going to work. I'm going to do it super tight just to give it a little black layer. And then I'm going to trim just so that I have that tiny little black edge on the side there. And I'm going to do the same thing here, tiny little black edge. Okay. And let's see if this will still make it. Oh, I think it will. I think it will. Okay, now we're going to get a white card base for this. Let's just do a half fold so I don't have to go on the floor, because that's where my big paper cutter is, on the floor. A lot of you were surprised to see how small my stamp space is here. It's super tiny, guys. Super tiny. I don't even know if this would be big enough to be a bedroom. This whole studio is very tiny. I guess it would be big enough to be a bedroom, like with a twin bed. But I don't have a huge craft space, and I don't have a huge amount of stuff. I just have my whole line, which I feel like that's all I need. Okay, so I'm going to put this down on the card with a little bit of Connect glue. I know, I definitely need to make, you need to make more backgrounds. I need to make more backgrounds too. Definitely need to make more backgrounds. Because we're going through them with these master layouts videos. We're going through all the backgrounds that I've made over the years. But it's a great use of any kind of backgrounds that you make, and pattern paper too. Because I know we all have tons of pattern paper laying around. Did Tom do a word of the day? Tom's word of the day is occupation. I love that word. That's what I'm doing for my job. Okay, so I am laying this out gently. Kind of gently. It's stuck to me. It's not exactly straight, but the good thing is it's glue, so we can move it. And we could change it a little bit. And as long as I cover that goober up, I think we'll be good. Just need to make it a little straighter here. I don't know, maybe we'll have some goobers at the top, but we can sand those off with a mono sand eraser. I'm not worried. I'm worried that I don't have a mono sand eraser. I do. I have a mono sand eraser, so we'll just sand that right off. It'll be better than horrible. I'm not too worried. I'll wait till it dries too to do that. And then I'm going to make my card just a tiny bit smaller than A2 and just trim that off to make it a little more even. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to pop this on top, but I'm going to do it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? You just get that dimension, but it finishes off the design on the side. Oh, I love that. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Okay. Now this card can go either vertically or horizontally. So we could take one of these little flags and we could add a tiny holiday greeting right up there, like that. That's stuck to me. You don't need much. We could also add a greeting down here, coming in off the side, like that. Or we could add a greeting over here with the Merry Christmas We could put it right in there. The Merry Christmas. We could also put it over the center, and then that would look like, why don't we do that? I think that's kind of cool. So let's use the greeting from the Holiday Wreath Builder. This will make it very easy. And I think that's going to be pretty. And I'm not going to do like gems and stuff on this because I feel like the woodiness of it doesn't lend itself to a lot of gems. I don't know that I'm going to be done by then. Sorry, guys. We'll just have to, you know, there's always replays, right? Okay, so let's do Joy to the World for this one. Yeah, it just depends on like the master layouts. This is just a big master layout set and a lot of things I wanted to show today, so I don't know. But that's okay. Whoever can stay, stay. Love you to stay. So should I do a brown on here? No, I'm going to do black because the black border is, I think the black with the black border and the black border on this die cut really makes a difference. Okay. Aw, thank you guys. You're all so sweet. Okay, so here we go. I love that little edge around the outside. Let me clean this. And then I'm going to put that back. I have 2 of these stamp sets because I lost one once. And so I had to open another one because I had a video looming and I probably took it home. And so now I have 2 in the same pocket. So if you guys ever have 2 of the same, you know, it's okay. All right, so that's going to get popped up right there. Maybe my cards are all going to be rustic today. I feel like I should do one really bright one. But I think the flowers are kind of bright, so they count. And Brianne, I understand if you have to leave early. No worries. I totally get it. But we love you and we appreciate you. Okay. So, all right, there we go. So we're going to pop this right here in the middle of that wood carved look. I love that. There we go. Isn't that cool? That's so fun. Look at my cards today. They're all so like woody and rustic, but they're fun. I do feel like I should use this for something. We have to do one with that. So I'm going to do one with this real quick, and then I'm going to, I might do a little flag one. Okay. So for this one, this is almost done. So we can add a little bit of a border behind it if we want. I think we could add, actually, let's add a little color in here. We could add the Master Layouts 4 panel behind there, and I feel like that would really look pretty together. That would look so nice. We could also do a pink version. I did cut a pink version out. I don't know if I brought that pink version over. All right, we'll go with the blue because I can't find the pink one right now. Just so that we have one with that little scalloped edge so you can remember. Okay, so we'll put that here like this. And then let's take a look at what we have that we can use with this. We could do that vintage idea where we have the vintage bird. Oh, I do like that because he's got blue in him too. So that would be really fun. And if we put that right to the edge of the window, that's going to be really pretty. I like that a lot. We had to make use of this panel because it's just too pretty. You like the blue? Okay, good. I'm going on the floor. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. I had to cut my white card back. nice. You know what I need to get? I need to get a little extension table, a small table that just fits off of the side here. That would be really, really nice for me to have a paper cutter where, because, you know, at some point my knees are going to get bad. And I'm going to be like, okay, I'm just going to go on the floor and cut this, and I'm never going to be able to get up again. And then I'm going to have to, like, bring my iPhone down and ask somebody to call 911 because I have fallen and I can't get up. You know that's going to happen, right? All right, so I'm just using a white card base for this. Let's zoom in a bit here. Okay. Or a bigger studio, yeah, or a rolling cart. Do the rolling carts have a place where you can, like, use a tabletop, though, like, to cut? Because that's what I need. I need a surface to cut on. Although maybe I could take half the junk that's all over my desktop, put it on the rolling cart. Oh, I love the bird. I'm going to put him there. I'm going to have him extend a little bit there, but I'm just going to put him right there. And let's see. Boy, any kind of greeting would work really pretty here. So let's pop him up. Oh, they have rolling carts at Michael's? All right, I'm going to have to look into that. A hospital rolling cart, huh? Okay. Yeah, you guys all have good ideas. Just keep telling me what I need to get, because it's always fun to shop, and and I could say, well, you know, my awesome viewers told me to get this. And, you know, there was a stamp set that was designed to work perfectly, a greeting set that was designed to work perfectly with Master Layouts 5. And it was called So Many Sentiments. I don't know what I got on there, but that might just be part of the craft thing, the craft cardstock. That's so nice. Isn't that nice? And I don't think I have that die set right here with me. So Many Sentiments. Oh, I do. This is it right here. This is called So Many Sentiments. And this, you can see when I get my tri-cut panel, you can see how these sentiments work really nicely with these. Like some of these bigger ones. Praying each day finds you like your old self. Wishing you another wonderful trip around the sun. Because you can, like, tuck it under, you know, or you can cut it down. But I don't know. I have to decide, do I want to use one of these for this card? Like, just add a little flag greeting right here. It would really look very, like, what's the mixed media, you know, where they have got like little panels and flags and things that just kind of overlap. We could do that. We could put a little greeting right there. We could also have it coming in from the side with so very proud of you. It's the little things. So It's the Little Things works with one of these other greetings here. Let's see now. You're always there when I need you, praying for you. You make me smile. Here it is. So It's the Little Things. Let's do that. We're going to do It's the Little Things. I know it looks weird, but I'll explain what's going on the inside in a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a little scrap of white cardstock here. And I'm going to stamp It's the Little Things in black. Ooh, I should use charcoal brown. I'm going to use charcoal brown because that's what color this bird was stamped in, charcoal brown. I'm trying to read the comments at the same time. It's not easy. I have to go back afterwards and read comments for sure because I know you guys are making great comments and I look up every once in a while and then I see something. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Now, I'm going to use my little Try It panel. Doesn't matter which way. I'm going to just line that up so that it looks straight. Does that look straight? That looks pretty straight, right? And then I'm going to just pop that right in there, and I'm going to stamp it again. That might have moved. If it did, I've got a whole bunch of these cut out. I was ready. Yep, I was ready. Okay, let's try another one. I was prepared. I cut a million of them because I knew I was going to do that at some point. I don't even know if that's straight. Yeah, that is straight. Okay, there we go. You know, I could just do that so that doesn't happen. Okay. That looks good. Perfect. There we go. So we can do It's the Little Things right here. That's going to be so cute. And then on the inside, we're going to stamp the greeting that says, that means so much. And that's all in this set. You need that technique of just throwing it, or this technique of lining it up. Do both, you know, don't get too attached to something. If it, and you know, I should save this because it is stamped nicely and take time and line it up and cut it out, but you know, we'll do that another time. Okay, so let's stamp the inside of this card. So here we go. We're going to stamp the inside, and I'm going to stamp the words that mean so much on the inside. And we could decorate the inside of this card to match. We could stamp the bird again in a really, really pale ink just to have like a mist of it. But I am going to clean my misty before I... Okay, here we go. Look how cute that is. That means so much. There we go. All right. So the outside will say it's the little things, and then the inside will say that means so much. And that to me is a great way to say thank you. It's a great thank you card. Okay. So should I, here's the question, should I pop this greeting up? And I think I should. I think I'll pop it up so that it kind of matches what's going on underneath there. And I'll just slide it under. It's going to be tricky, but I can do it. I know I can do it. I have faith that I can do it, or else I'll just rip these foam squares off and we'll just attach it right down, right down to the card. But we'll see. Okay, so here we go. It's the little things. Just get it right under there, just a little bit right there. There we go. It's the little things that mean so much. There we go. And I love that we use this because it seems a shame to waste that beautiful inside from, you know, from that card. And I wanted to use this flag too. Okay, so I'm going to do one more background card that just uses this flag right here. Okay, we're going to do one more. This is like a color theme today. I feel like I'm in this mood, but I think all of these cards are nice. And a couple of them definitely could be used as masculine cards too. You can always use a more block style greeting, and this could be masculine. This is definitely masculine. Maybe do a bird without the flowers, like this bird instead. And, you know, but again, I always also say that, and you guys know that it's true, there are so many fantastic guys out there that garden. They do gorgeous gardening, beautiful gardening. So why wouldn't you, you know, want to do something for them too with flowers? I don't know. Tom never seems to mind flowers. Boy, wouldn't that be pretty, that Merry Christmas? I'm just grabbing a couple of different greetings here. I'm looking for some greetings that are, because, you know, one of the things that I wanted to say is you can use the flag as a grounding panel for a greeting that's a little bit bigger. So you don't necessarily have to just find something that works with this. But let's see what I have. I've got things. Let's see, that's going to be too big. Birthday wishes. That's going to be too big. See, it just cuts off, but this is why it's good to have these. And these are big stamps. So I'm just going through real quick. Ooh, look at these. Oh, look at, this might be the thing. Okay, so look at how beautiful this panel is. I did this with alcohol inks, and this is on Tim Holtz. He's got this kind of plasticky paper. Brianne, you know what it's called, Yupo paper. So I'm just always leaning on Brianne. I'm always looking at my texts. But Tim Holtz has Yupo paper that you can do alcohol ink inking on, and look at that beautiful sheen that you get from his Yupo paper, and it comes in like silver and white and different colors. So I just did some alcohol inks on here. I let everything dry, and then I stamped with embossing and watermark ink, and I gold embossed these leaves. So this kind of brings to mind like falling leaves in the fall. So let's take this panel and let's mix it with, hopefully this is going to fit. Trees show us just how beautiful letting go can be. And here's all the leaves falling. Let's do that. And then we'll just add that little flag right onto the side. I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay. So now the question is, what color do we use for this? So you see this bright turquoise in there? I feel like if we mixed a little bit of turquoise sea, I'm just using a smaller one, or a little bit, this is sea glass, but we would pull in some of this color. So maybe I'll cut a flag out of sea glass. I have a big one here. This is sea glass. I feel like that would really be pretty. And can you see, like, all of a sudden it pulls this out? Now, sea glass might be a little too blue, where turquoise sea is a little bit more, see how this is lighter? It's more like a lighter blue, and this has more of this color in it. And I feel like these two work better together. So let's recut this flag using a little bit of turquoise sea. I also, let's see, do I have a scrap? I have 10 million scraps. Yes, here's a scrap of turquoise sea. So we'll use this. And we're going to cut one. I'm going to cut a tiny piece here. Tiny piece. And I'm going to need my mini die cut machine. My little grippy mat. I could have done this all on the big, how about I do it all on the big die cutting machine, because I have to cut the panel too. Now you can cut the panel with whatever you want. I think we're going to use turquoise sea and cut the scalloped one. Now I'm back on the floor. Oh my gosh. Seriously? I'm getting too old for this. Okay. I'm going to cut a flag out of the turquoise sea, and then I'm going to cut one of the scallops from Master Layouts 4, since they were designed to work together. And I am going to back out here because I know my camera's super close. So let me back out so you can see more. Oh, look at the workspace. Don't look too close. Now, this greeting is from Autumn Silhouettes. So if anybody was wondering what the greeting is, I'm going to cut it out of the same piece because I feel like that one piece has been sitting in my craft room forever and it is totally faded out. So give me 1 second to actually find my die set. Here it is. I'm a mess. And I'm going to cut a flag. I'm actually going to cut two because while I'm here, I might as well cut more than one in case I mess up again. And we're going to give away 2 gift cards at the end of today's show. So yeah, Emerald Coast. You're right. The Emerald Coast would look really gorgeous with that. I agree. I agree. I think both of those colors look good. Emerald Coast is just the bomb, isn't it? All right, I'll keep cutting on the floor because it's Shirley said, who said that? Nephew Nate said, I'm keeping it real. Okay, so I'll just keep cutting on the floor. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so I need Master Layouts 4, and I'm going to use the big scallop from that. And remember, I always try to show you which dies coordinate. In Master Layouts 4, the scallop die was made to coordinate with the stitch die in Master Layouts 5. Yeah, Emerald Coast is beautiful. If you guys haven't seen our color Emerald Coast, the cardstock is just stunning. And there's all kinds of turquoises in this panel because, again, I used alcohol inks. I used Tim's alcohol inks. And, you know, it goes on like shady, right? So you've got like some bright parts, you've got some more muted parts, and it all works really nicely together. So I'm going to cut this panel with the rectangle from Master Layouts 5. Boy, I like today's cards. I'm having a good time with today's cards. Oh, you know, wouldn't that be beautiful, though, to use that perimeter? I'm going to keep the perimeter just in case I want to use it for something else. Yep, 2 gift cards, because I know it was a long video, and I know you guys are hanging out with me through it all, and I appreciate it. So we're going to do 2 gift cards today. But, oh, this is thick paper. I think we got it. There we go. That. Love it. This is such a fun card. So I think I've got everything die cut now for the rest of the video, and I'll just put this back one last time for good. And then we're going to use our little trick again to stamp the greeting. So we're going to use that tree greeting. And again, you know, always just keep your little pieces that you can use over and over again to line everything up. So I'm using the grip mat, and then I'm gonna just stamp it on a little piece. I'll stamp it on this piece of white cardstock. I'm not gonna run all around trying to find a scrap for now. Okay, so we're going to use trees show us just how beautiful letting go can be. I feel like that is such a beautiful saying. I really do. It's so encouraging with change, right? We all go through changes. I'm going through a change. I'm a little hot. Okay. So let's line that up. Make it straight. I'm kind of looking at the top for the straightness because it's hard to see the straightness sometimes in the scripty part. So kind of look along the top and make sure that that looks like it's straight. And now we still have the stamp in the right spot, so we're going to pop this right back in there. And we can always tape it down if we want, just to be on the safe side so we don't have that same error that I had earlier. And then we're going to stamp it. Have to stamp it a couple times. I also think that if you had like gold cardstock, that would be really beautiful too, and you could emboss it in black. Well, there's just so many ideas with these master layouts that these videos are really hard to like make short. Okay, and so this would just get put right here, and then we'll put this right on top like that. And so that'll kind of appear as an extension of this panel. So that's one greeting that would work. I kind of like it. It does extend a little bit outside of the stitched line, so if that bothers you, you might want to pick a different greeting. Okay, good. What error? I saw nothing. I like that. Another one that would be really pretty with this is may all your weeds be wildflowers. That's a really pretty greeting too. May all your weeds be wildflowers. And that would fit in there a little better. My heart is filled with gratitude. That would work. You've been in my thoughts, and you could chop it off there. But we'll go with this since it's got the leaves. Why not? Okay. So let's layer this together. I'm going to put my ink pad closed so I don't put my sleeve in it. Last night I put my sleeve in, not last night, but Tuesday night when I was doing my fuse foiling gel video. I put my sleeve in everything. I don't know how many times. That's so nice. Still debating about this greeting. Do you guys like the greeting? You tell me. Do you like the greeting, or should it be something bolder? I really want to know. And actually, I'm going to line the stitching up with that stitching there. So you tell me if you like the greeting. I think it's good. Does the ink wash out of my clothes? You know, some does. It depends on the color, and it depends on how quickly I get to it. I'm on the floor again. It depends how quickly I get to it. And some people say, like, put hairspray on it or alcohol. So, okay, a lot of people are saying yes, they like the greeting. All right, so I'm sticking with the greeting. Sometimes design-wise, I think a block-style greeting might look a little better on this card, but we're going to go with it because we have the leaves. And then maybe I'll take a picture of it with the leaves, and then I'll change up the greeting and take another picture, and you guys can decide which one you liked better, and you can let me know. But I'm going with a white card base here. And then I'm going to just line that up, those stitches with these stitches. I'm going to put it right on there. I'm not going to pop it up at all. So right there. There we go. Let's get a little, I missed here, so there we go. Okay, so I like that. I think that's pretty. And that panel, I love making use of these panels. So here's how I clean. And then I'll just zoom in a little bit and we can take a look at these. And then we're going to give away some gift cards. So yeah, I think I was definitely on a roll with this color combo today. And we'll zoom in here. And I'll take good high quality photos of everything. And you'll be able to, that's a little too close. I'm trying to get the junk out of the way. But let's do this instead. We don't need me there. Okay. So these are the cards we made today. At least we got all of the elements in. We did the triangles, we did the circles, we did the two flags, and then we have some window options. And then I got to show you how to mix and match some of Master Layouts 4 in there, which was, these two were designed to work together. All right, so let's go here. So, if you are new to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you would give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also subscribe to the channel because we're getting so close to 200,000. And when we get there, we're going to have a big party. So thank you so much for that. And also, if you hit the notification bell, you'll never miss another video. And then if you haven't visited our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. The name of the Facebook group is Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. You can find me and 48,000 of the nicest crafters on the internet. We love seeing your designs and what you do with your Gina K Designs products, so we'd love to have you over there. And then if you missed anything that Brianne showed you, you can find everything that I used over on our website at ginakdesigns.com. So you can, and if you want any of the master layout sets and they're out of stock, just go ahead and add yourself to the notify me list, because once they come back in stock, we will be able to get an email out to you and let you know. Okay, so let me do this so I don't have my same mistake that I had the other night. And do 5,000 drum rolls. Okay, so we have a couple of winners here. Let's see, do the winner thing here. And we have to have a drum roll. Here we go. All right, two $15 gift cards go to Karen Carpenter and Joan O'Halloran. So congratulations. I think I have like, yeah. Yay! Okay, congratulations, ladies. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will get those gift cards out to you. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. Remember, next Tuesday night, Tom and I will be back for another Stampin' Chat Live, and we're going to be focusing on pattern paper and ephemera, making our own, a DIY pattern paper and ephemera video. And then next Thursday, we'll be back again with another edition of the Master Layout series. We're going to be focusing on, I don't know if I'm going to do Master Layout 6 right away. I might skip and do Master Layout 7, because Master Layout 6 is scene building, and that one I might mix and match in, but we'll keep room in it for our binder. I'll let you know which one I'm going to do next, but I will have more information on that. And also, if you go over to our website, ginakdesigns.com, tap on the blog tab and go to templates, and you will find all of the printables that I showed you today for the binder. You can get all of them dating back all the way to Master Layouts 1 and the binder cover. So those are all available for you anytime you feel like going over there. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you next week. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.